Hello everyone and welcome to MX Gaming Reviews. I am of course Phoenix, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Assault Cruiser and the Assault Cruiser Refit. So both these, well, the one version is of course the Enterprise E, which has been shown uh, in the Star Trek movies, Star Trek First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis. So today we are going to be reviewing them. And which one do I want? I want you. So let's start with the stats. Just need to get rid of everything else. Alright, there's the Assault Cruiser right there. Okay. Alrighty. So starting off with bridge officers, you have a lieutenant tactical, an ensign tactical, a lieutenant tactical, a commander engineering station, a lieutenant commander engineering station, and a lieutenant science. For consoles, you have 4 engineering, 3 tactical, and 2 science. For weapons, you have 4 fore and aft. For base hull of 39,000, shield modifier of 1, base crew of 800, base turn rate of 7, impulse modifier of 0.15, an inertia rating of 30, and you have 4 device slots. Again, because this is a cruiser type vessel, you get +5 to all power levels, and you get the cruiser communications array, the standard strategic maneuvering, shield frequency modulation, weapon system efficiency, and attract fire. Now, let's see here, moving on. And there's the refit. Alright, so here's the refit. So for bridge officers, you have an ensign tactical, a lieutenant commander tactical, so instead of having a lieutenant, you get a lieutenant commander, a lieutenant engineering station, a commander engineering station, and a lieutenant universal. So they've taken out the science station completely. So for consoles, you have consoles are actually the same. You get 4 engineering, 3 tactical, and 2 science. You get the same for weapons. You get 4 fore and 4 aft, a base hull of 39,000. Nothing new there. Sorry, I'm just looking here. Okay, so shield modifier of 1, a base crew of 800, base turn rate of 7, impulse modifier of 0.15, and inertia rating of 30. And you also get 4 device slots as well. Now, you do get the same cruiser communication, pardon my my slip up here, communications array. So you get the strategic maneuvering, shield frequency, weapon efficiency, and attract fire. Now, this is where it will differ, because instead of getting just +5 to all power levels, you get +10 weapon power, +5 shield power, +5 auxiliary power. And it also comes with, in a sense, it comes with 2 consoles. The first one is the wide-angle quantum torpedo launcher, which is really, really cool, because it's a wide angle. So instead of just a regular 45-degree arc, it now has a 90-degree targeting arc. I can't remember. We'll get into that further. And then the console that is sort of specific to this ship, but you can use it on any other ship, is the Metreon gas canister console. So if you guys remember from, I believe it is Insurrection, you can, if you remember the Riker maneuver where he collects all the Metreon gas with the ram scoops, and then he plows it out amongst the enemy ships, and then detonates it, and all the enemy ships essentially just went boom. So that's what that console is, and we'll get into that very shortly. So next, I'm going to do the design of the ship. So here we have the classic Sovereign class. So this is the Enterprise E. as you can see, it's much longer than the Enterprise D. Let's just take a look at the Enterprise D here. Yeah, I don't know if we can get. I really wish you could just kind of compare ships in a sense, but there's that. Yeah, so it appears it's longer. Not doesn't seem by much, but I'm pretty sure it is longer, and it's a lot shorter. So they've gone back to essentially the Enterprise B look. It's pretty much what they've done. So, and if you remember what the Enterprise D is, it's or the Enterprise B, I should say, and it's this one right here. So that's pretty much what they've done. They've kind of gone back to this, but they've modified it in a way that that everything looks very flush together, and it's a lot smoother. There's no ups and downs. It's just nice and sloped, and it fits well together. So starting with the saucer is very elongated. So it doesn't have the point, but it is elongated. And then you have your very large impulse engines at the back of the. Just zoom in there. Yeah. So you got your impulse engines there. The neck here, I don't know. For some reason, this piece here, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but this piece here, the neck, I don't know. It just, to me, it doesn't flow right with this ship. For some reason, just my opinion, it doesn't flow right. But anyways, let's continue on. The deflector dish, it's smaller than all the other ones. All the other ones were fairly huge, except for maybe Enterprise B. But this is small, and instead of the normal blue, it's yellow, which is interesting. So I don't know what the difference is in deflectors, if one is blue, one's yellow, or if there's any difference, whether yellow means extended long range or shorter range. I'm not entirely sure, but that is a difference. So, and then you come to the body here, and you have your classic little body that goes out, and then near the midsection, it curves upwards, and then it flattens out near the back here, and then you have your looks like right at the back here, looks like shuttle base. So, and then the hull is it's almost cylinder in shape, except for the bottom piece there. And then you have the pylons, which are attached to the hull, and they are swept backwards, and they go up slightly. They're not. It's they when they designed it, they pretty much made sure that everything was kind of in line with a lot of things. So the warp nacelles are not as high up as they've previously been, or even lower, like the Enterprise D. So, and then you have the warp nacelles, which kind of look like almost like the standard warp nacelles. I'm going to zoom out a bit here. So, there you can see the ram scoops, and then you have the warp nacelle blue part there, and then the rest is all encased. So, obviously it gets a little thin, or so it's more pointed near the ram scoops, and then it widens out, and then once you get closer to the back, it thins out a bit, thins out more. So, and that's pretty much the Sovereign class, or the Sovereign variant, I should say. I gotta stop saying class and start using variant. Alright, so next we're gonna do the Majestic class. So here's the Majestic class. Saucer wise, it's not as elongated, it's more rounded, but to me this thing looks like it's wearing a baseball cap, with this, especially with this piece right at the front. Kind of looks like a baseball cap. So to me that's just, I don't know, that's a little weird. Here's really something that's weird. The neck looks like it's like two pieces here, or not, and I shouldn't say two pieces, but you know, this looks like how like this saucer could come up and off because of this neck piece here. So you can see as it attaches here, and then it goes all the way back, and then here it is here. So, but with these two pieces next to the impulse engines here, that sort of like clamp it down, I don't think that the saucer section does come off just because of those pieces there. Um, Again, for some reason, the neck just it doesn't flow well with the rest of this ship. Um, so, and yeah, so weird. So here's interesting. This deflector dish is really small, smaller than I think than the Sovereign variant, and the body, the body seems a little weird. Um, yeah, it's small. Like it starts out really small at the front and widens once you get to the middle, but then at the bottom here it slopes. You know, it's up and then it slopes down, and then you got like a hump, and then you got where it slopes right back up again, and then it flattens out at the back. So, and then the top of the body here is pretty much flat. There's nothing really else to say. The pylons are attached to the hull as usual. Um, Looks like they took some. I don't know what to say here. They sweep upwards, or they curve upwards, I should say, and then you got these two holes. I don't know if that's supposed to be aerodynamic or what, but to me that I don't know. It's space. There's no air. I don't think there would be any resistance. And then for the warp nacelles here, um, I I don't know what they were thinking when they were designing this. So obviously they're tube-like, going from I guess from the top of this just from the not from the nose of the warp nacelles, but getting up to the top there, and then back here, and then they kind of I don't know they have this cutout at the back here, and they cut out the sides on either side of the warp nacelle. So I have no idea if that's supposed to, you know, do an intake of power or whatnot. I don't know, but I noticed this. If you look on it head on, it kind of looks like a fish coming at you. I know that's strange to say, but that to me that's what it looks like. Because at the bottom here you got these little fins here coming out from it. So if they didn't have that, I don't think it would look like a fish. But if you look on it head on, it looks like a fish, because it's got this little opening here, so it looks like the fish's mouth is open. There's its nose, there's its eyes, and then you have the fins at the bottom. So, yeah. So I don't know. It's most definitely interesting. And then I guess even at the back here, you know what, with this little cutout, that would be its tail. It looks like a fish tail. So I don't know if that was someone's inspiration of doing it like that. I don't know. So, but it's weird nonetheless. All right. Next up is the Noble class. So here the saucer section is more rounded, and it's got more of a hump at the top here, or a bubble. One thing that is interesting to me is these pieces that come out from the saucer part of it. It kind of looks like if they could, they would move in closer to each other, while the saucer section kind of moves back a bit, and these pieces here would cover these more less protected areas here on the side to give more armor and more protection, but I don't think that's the case. But it is still interesting, an interesting thought at least. Again, you have your warp or your impulse engines at the back. Again, the neck. For some reason, the neck on all these they don't seem to flow right. So and then here you have the regular blue deflector. This deflector looks more like the Excelsior class deflector. Then, oops, for the body here, you do have it going sloping downwards, and then it levels out, and then near the back, it goes up again, curves upwards, and then flattens out again at the near the back. So so this slope downwards, and that's kind of like the Majestic class, but not as predominant. So, and then you have the pylons. I don't know if this is just a design thing or if it's again for aerodynamics, which kind of doesn't make any sense because there's no air in space. So why would you need aerodynamics? The pylons, they curve upwards, they don't sweep anywhere, so that's kind of oh, excuse me, different. Or nice change from them sweeping back and up and all that. Alrighty. Anyways, enough of me rambling on. Let's get next to the warp nacelles here. So these warp nacelles, they kind of look like I don't want to say fish because they don't have the fins, but it's kind of look, I think, more like a torpedo in a submarine. They're get the roundness at the front, and then they're long, but they do shorten near the back, and they're more armored. They look more armored than their counterparts. Obviously, showing the blue warp nacelles. Now, at the back here, you have these little fins that go inward and not outward. They don't have outward ones, they just have ones that are inward. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of those are, but yeah. So that's the Noble class. So we've done the Sovereign, Majestic, and Noble, and now we're going to move to the Regent class. So here is the Regent class. So as you can see, the saucer section is very much like the Sovereign. It is very elongated, and I think this is actually a little longer, and it's more wider than the Sovereign class. So there it is. It has a huge head on it, if you want to call it a head, and at the bottom, here, you get this nice little gluey dome here. I don't know what the purpose for that is. Maybe it's just to, shine the light below. I don't know. The deflector dish is very small. It's actually smaller than the Sovereign class, and it's blue. Now, out of all the other ones, the neck here flows nicely with the body and the saucer section, because as you can see here, it goes right to the very front. I'll show you there. So it goes right to the front, and then it goes all the way to the back. Then it sort of curves a little. You just see it briefly, very slightly. There it curves there, and then it goes back up. Now the part that kind of makes you question or look at it a little strange is that in between those two neck parts, it's lowered, and it's not flush with the rest of the body and saucer. So you have in between here, looks like where people would be walking, you know. So I don't think that's the case, but um, but I think the reason for that is now that I can see here, there's two on either side of this one piece that comes down in the middle here, shuttle bays. Those look like shuttle bays, so that makes a little more sense. And then at the back you got even more shuttle bays here too. So now at the bottom here, it goes down. Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's like all the other ones, and then where normally would curve up and then flatten out, they've angled it more. So well, if you look at like that, it looks like it does that. But when you look at the side here, it's nicely angled, and it goes up, 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 where it reaches the back. So, kind of like a bit of an optical illusion when you look at it like that. But when you look at the side, that's exactly what they've done, and it flows nicely. It looks a lot better. Moving on to the pylons, they sweep forward and curve upwards a little bit. And then you have the torpedo, or the torpedoes. Apparently I got torpedoes in the mind. You have the warp nacelles here. The as you can see, the ram scoops are more predominant. They're out more. They have this little band to separate the top and the bottom of them. And then here you have nice hull plating that covers the warp nacelles, and as you can see on either side you have the blue warp nacelles, and even at the back you have the little warp nacelle in this there. At the bottom here you have this little dangly piece. I don't want to call it a fin because it does not look like a fin to me. So I don't know if maybe that's to hold the ram scoop in place. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what it looks like to me. Oh, and also on the pylons here, they have, I don't know if these are supposed to be impulse engines or not, but you have like little red glowy things here. So well, we'll take a look at it and see if those light up as warp or impulse engines. So anyways, let's lower this. So that's my review on the designs of each of the ships. So let's kind of move away ahead here, maybe away from someone's cooing tribble. Alright, there we go. So there is Vice Admiral Carolyn in front of the Space Dock Operations Cascading Wall of Water. Alright. And as usual, we're going to go over my ship layout. It's pretty much the same layout from here on in with this tune. Now, I've been thinking of changing my weapons. I don't know if I'm going to upgrade to the nanite disruptor beams or plasma beams, but that's something that's still in the works. I have to farm more EC in order to get a hold of either one of those, because the nanite ones are very expensive. I know that. So, anyways, continuing on. Beam arrays, lots and lots of beam arrays. I think I might at one point go with a dual beam array, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Here is the wide angle quantum torpedo launcher. It gives you accuracy, critical hit, and arch. So regular torpedoes, I was wrong, doesn't give you 45-degree arcs. It gives you 90-degree targeting arc. This one gives you 180. So you just double what the regular arc is of a torpedo, and it gives you 3062.5. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Kinetic damage. You get 362.7 damage per second, plus 2% critical chance, and plus 10% accuracy. And as you can see, I have my Solanae set, all 4 pieces. If you want to learn more about this, then you can go and check out my exploration cruiser, refit and retrofit uh, uh, review, and I go more in detail into what those set bonuses do. And for devices, I have my standard auxiliary battery, engine battery, shield battery, and then my subspace field modulator. For engineering consoles, I have my neutroniums, and I desperately need to upgrade those. But again, that's going to be farming a lot of EC. I'll get to that console in a moment. Then I have my shield emitters. Um, I would like to upgrade these, but if I'm going to upgrade these, I might as well just go with the field modulators. And then for tactical consoles, I have my disruptor induction coils, which again I have to upgrade because I have two Mark 9s, and I like to have at least a Mark 10. If I can go higher, that would be great, but again, that's a lot of EC that I would have to spend on these. So here is the Universal Console. It says Universal. Oh, excuse me. I have the yawns today. And then, but it says in red, Assault Cruiser, Fleet Assault Cruiser Refit, Assault Cruiser Refit, and Mir Star Cruiser, which tells me that only those ships can have this. But I'm not entirely sure if I've put it on other ships. I'm pretty sure I have, but we can check that out in just a few minutes here. But what the eject Metreon gas does, it's a AoE, so that's area of effect, impulse, and turn debuff. So when you eject the Metreon gas cloud and you eject it in front of your enemies, it does minus 90% turn rate to them, minus 75% impulse speed, and it disables their cloak. So that's good if, maybe for PvP. I'm not entirely sure for PvP. But if someone's cloaked and they get caught in the gas, then that would disable their cloak and you'd be able to see them. So when you ignite the Metreon gas, it deals 2020.4 plasma damage per second for 5 seconds. So if you're going to use this ship and with this console, I would suggest you go with plasma-based weapons. And you may, if you really want to really do some damage, remove the quantum torpedo and go with the Task Force Omega's. Let's see here, near the bottom here. Yeah, the Omega torpedo launcher, or the Omega plasma torpedo launcher. It does damage times 2, but it does critical hit, and then it does 90%. 1,261.9 kinetic damage. Does 2,523.7 DPS, and then 694 plasma damage over 10 seconds, plus 2 to critical chance. So this torpedo might be worth losing the 180-degree targeting arc and the high damage. But what's the DPS on? Oops. What's the DPS on these quantum torpedoes? So yeah, so with the plasma torpedo, with the Omega plasma, you're losing out on kinetic damage, but you're gaining much more on DPS, on damage per second. And then plus, because it's plasma, and you get that chance to incur plasma damage, which ignores shields, which is really awesome. And I don't know if the plasma-based torpedoes are affected by the plasma induction coils. I'm not entirely sure on that. But if they are affected, your weapons are plasma-based, and then you have the induction coils on top of them. Your torpedo is plasma-based, and if they are affected by the induction coils, bonus. And then you have the Metreon gas, which does plasma damage, and I'm not entirely sure, again, if they are affected by the induction coils, but if they are, that increases your overall plasma damage. So that's something to look into, and I think that would be worthy to try and see if that is something that would actually work. Because if that's the case, um, you could do a lot of plasma damage on the hull without even going through shields, or having to go through the shields, because it just ignores the shields. So some food for thought right there. Alright, so now let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. So let's just see here. Let's do a Borg one, because I like Borg. For me, they're the easiest ones. I gotta start working on some other ones, but for now, I'll just show you the Borg stuff here. Let's do the conduit. I like this one. This one's nice. Doesn't take as long as, if you have a good pug, doesn't take as long. Alright. Alright. Alright, so let's do increased shields. Oh, shield's pretty much gone already. So the turn rate on this ship is not as bad as the Galaxy class. The Galaxy class seems more heavy. I think I'm going to start putting a torpedo on them after these things. Alright, let's see here. Now that's just the regular instructor plasma. Nope. Do I not have the special console on? No, I don't. Oh, that's embarrassing. I want to show this console and I can't. Alright, let's do this quickly. Alright, yeah. Alright, there we go. On the next run, I'll show you the Riker maneuver. Alright. let's just take a moment here. Wait for my powers to recharge. There we go. Alright. Wow. Someone's a little more impatient than everyone else. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Come on, ignite. There we go. Ah, look at that. Thing of beauty. Ooh. Now let's just do the regular. Sugar, just missed him. Ah, didn't plan that properly. Ah, well. That's okay. Alright. So we didn't get the bonus objective, or the optional objective. We failed that one. But that's okay. I'm not too worried. So far this doesn't seem like such a bad pug group. I've been in some pug groups where it's just been absolutely horrible, and then you have the people leave, and then it's just like only like 2 of you that's fending off both the Borg spheres and trying to get the that gateway down, and it just never happens. One thing I like about the quantum torpedo is because it's got the 180-degree targeting arc, you can sit here and do broadsiding with it. So this is particularly great for a cruiser. You just sit there and broadside the whole thing, and you can still fire torpedoes at it. Oh, sugar. I aggroed that one. Alright. Oh, no! Oh, ho, ho. Oh, no. Oh, well. That's what you get sometimes when you have fire at will and torpedo spread. You sometimes aggro things that you don't want to aggro. That's okay. Things happen. Alright. I think this does plasma damage too, yeah. Oh, not even close. Not so we can get someone to push them back. Oh, hey. You know what? Yeah. Come on. Come on. That's it. Just a little closer. Oh, someone detonated that for me. I think I got him. Looks like it. There, did that one get it? Yep, I think so. Alright. Not too bad. Not too bad. So, it is a cruiser, so the, sorry. So the startup and slow down is going to take a bit, but that's okay. And then the turn rate kind of sucks because it is a cruiser. So it takes a wide arch to make its turns. It's not like an escort where it can almost turn on a dime. But anyways, so this has been my review on the Assault Cruiser and the Assault Cruiser Refit. And as always, live long and prosper, and we'll see you out there. And thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it the old thumbs up. Please post your comments in the comment section below if you'd like me to review a ship. And finally, hit the subscribe button for more upcoming reviews. Thank you.